What's up?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty
So
good. How are you?
good. I'm gonna give a little intro before I start. So,
Perfect.
welcome to the Asterysk podcast. My name is Rodney, and this is episode 3. And what this podcast is all about is that I interview really cool people who specialize in whatever they really enjoy doing. And before I start this podcast, this podcast is gonna be on YouTube, so it's gonna be betterly edited. So if you want to watch it on YouTube, then you can watch it on YouTube. But today, your very special guest, you have Riley Jaspers, aka the Eagle.
天国を追い出された天使は悪魔になるしかないんだ。そうだろう、スパイ。
So please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what your asterisk is.
Well, my name is Riley, as you already know now. I was a gymnast for 6.5 years before I started doing parkour. And I just kind of fell in love with that movement as a style of doing like kind of what you feel like doing versus feeling like you're doing the same thing every day in gymnastics. So once I started doing parkour, I just felt like wow, I'm able to actually like do what I want versus it's the same old thing again. But yeah, that was my background a little bit on that. My asterisk though, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Live life to the fullest, the best that you can. Don't second guess yourself. I'll just always live up to that quote, in my opinion. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, for sure. Fully commit.
Yes, fully commit.
So
Bad stuff goes down.
yeah. Where'd you get the idea of the eagle from?
So, it kind of had to do with parkour, but not really. It started in 8th grade when I went to a new middle school, and I met my really good friend Jerome and Elia there, and we we were having a discussion one day about like spirit animals or something. Like I think it was Jerome that asked, he's like, "What's your spirit animal?" Like I feel like everyone has one. I'm like, "Oh, I don't even know." But I liked white tigers at that time, so I was thinking, oh, maybe a white tiger, but then I'm not really like that. But then I realized, oh yeah, I've always liked golden eagles just because they had the biggest wingspan. I don't know why, just that's what came to mind. And he said, wait, put out your arms. So I reached my arms out, and he's like, Jesus, your arms are huge. So that's kind of where that came from. Riley the Eagle, big ass wingspan. And then in parkour as well, I just kind of like jump off anything big and do dive fronts. So like it worked out perfectly.
I remember like before comp, during the winter comp, you were like, you're doing squat. That's
Yep.
iconic.
Yeah, it was like during right before my first speed run, I just had my hand on the X, and all I heard was like everyone in the audience like squall, squall, and I was like squall. Like everybody was doing it. And you were right above me. I remember that, and you were like, you're just like, oh my gosh.
I was doing it too.
Oh, okay. I just
Yeah.
remember seeing the video, and you're like, that's funny.
So to a muggle, how would you explain free running?
Free running or parkour, or both?
Let's say both. Yeah.
Okay, so for parkour, the simplest way I'd put it is getting better at movement, just in general. Then to go a little deeper into detail, I would say getting better at movement using obstacles. Using obstacles is definitely a very important parkour. Otherwise, you're just running or walking or whatever. Then to take it up just a little bit more is getting from that point A to point B as efficiently, as safely, smoothly, as quick as possible using obstacles. free running, I'll use your term as adding your own asterisk to it. The reason why you're doing that move. Otherwise, you're just doing parkour. Like you can do parkour with obstacles whenever you feel like it, but doing free running is why you're adding a certain move. Like if you're doing parkour, you're not just gonna like be running from the cops and then chuck a double full out of nowhere. Like unless you're like really that person, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, adding your own asterisk and like why you're doing that move is free running. That's how I would explain it. So yeah.
Do you have any hobbies outside of parkour and freerunning that you did or did?
Well,
I mean, you did.
I got done doing one just like half an hour ago, working out. That's really it. I like to collect a few things like from parkour clothing and stuff like that, but that's parkour related. I also like to do hammocking with my friends sometimes and just kind of hang out with them. Then another one, it's not really a hobby, it's just kind of a thing I do with my aunt, but we write letters to each other because then she wanted the idea not of just like old school type vibe or whatever, but she wanted like instead of just sending text messages back and forth, like that's super quick, like anyone can do that. She wanted like in detail, like full page letter written, and we send it back and forth. So that's another little hobby I do just with my aunt. So
That's cool. That's more.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty. Yeah, and then we started making like pandemic poems. So like of all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world, we'll like make a poem out of it. And at first I was like, oh god, I suck at English, so this is gonna be fun. But it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun.
So let's talk more about your tumbling career. And so you said you've been doing it for 6.5 years, but you already pretty much answered it. But you're like at a really high level. You were training with Nick and Charlie, and I saw an old picture of you at the Olympic Training Center. That's super cool. So it's still the same answer, that it's just the same thing, and you wanted to do something different, right?
Yeah, just kind of. I mean, it was easier just to transfer because of air awareness to parkour. Like that made it a lot easier. But going back to training with Charlie and Nick, I did end up training with them back at Gleason's Maple Grove before we switched to Brooklyn Park and before the gym shut down. I was just getting to that elite level when I felt like I didn't feel like doing gymnastics anymore. I just kind of felt like I was doing the same thing as I said before, but nothing like, it's not like a super in detail story. I just didn't feel like doing gymnastics anymore, and that went on for like 6 months or so because my parents didn't want me to like just quit and have nothing to do. So that was perfect timing with Cortez coming in, which I'm guessing you'll get to later. So I won't answer that yet.
So let's discuss a little bit about your progression, because it's mad insane. How long have you been doing freerunning and parkour for again?
2.5 years.
Yeah, in 2.5 years, you're like already killing it right now.
Thanks, man.
I remember I was going to open gym one time, and you're doing these massive Kong gainers, double Kongs, and you're working on J-step cork. You're super close, but slightly, really close to landing it. And like it's really cool to see like how much you progressed in person, because I've seen a lot of it, so it's really cool to see. And funny story actually is a lot of the techie freerunning tricks that I've been working on for like the past, when I was at Gleason's, was based off of you, because I saw you do trap door on that leather wall. I was like, damn, that's sick as hell. I gotta try that.
Yeah, and you got it down. You got that down real quick.
I've done it in a while though, and I saw you do a gate at the Three Kings parkour spot. I was like, that's so freaking sick. Just putting your hands on an object, doing a backflip, and I decided to work on that too. So yeah, you're a really big inspiration for that Gleason's time for me.
Thanks. That whole setup too. when the gym shut down, I ended up taking all of it and took it to my friend's cabin, and we set up a little bar set and like box set over there. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm keeping it going. I'm keeping it going.
So, what are you working on, just generally speaking, with parkour and freerunning?
Let's see here. I've been doing a lot of bar stuff lately. Been inspired by Shade Slat, um, and he's a guy in Russia. He used to hang out with Pasha, I think, a couple times, and and he used to hang out with Sasha Sheva a lot.
Oh, okay.
But like he does like the weirdest things. Like I watched one of his recent videos called 2020, and he did a lache, but he was gonna kip up like as if he was gonna do like lache front, but then he grabs onto the next bar in front of him and does like a forward giant. I was like, whoa, what the heck? So I was like trying to work on that, and then like I like kind of got it, but then I just like straight up hit my chest on the bar and it hurt, so I stopped doing that. Then there's like this other move that I was trying to work on, called a back circle hecht, and it's basically if you started on the bar and you do part of a back hip circle and then you kip off this way and then you land back on your feet, and it's very very weird, and it scared me a couple times and ended up hurting myself. So I'll talk about that later. But let's see here. And then also another move by him, I'm trying to learn like a kip, but then I put one leg on the bar, and it's basically like a Webster from there, but then the left leg goes sideways, and then the back leg is like doing like a helicopter almost, and it's super weird. I can't describe any of it that well, but yeah, I would just have to show you the video. Like it's kind of weird. I don't know what it is.
That sounds super cool. I'm trying to imagine that.
Cool. I don't get how he does it. I want to do it though.
Wait, who does it?
Shade Zlat.
Okay.
He's been doing stuff for a long time. Like he has YouTube videos from probably 2009, I want to say. So he's been going for a while.
Let's talk about your Instagram samplers, and they're really good. They've evolved a lot from like a year ago, and I like how you play around with keyframes. Oh, there's like another video with another video, just like, and it turns black and white and stuff. It's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, I've tried to look into more recent editing apps to see if I could like do better with that. And I don't really care to like pay for any editing apps at the moment, but if I find a free one, I'll get as creative as possible.
What do you edit with right now?
Right now, I use what's called CapCut, and I think it's for TikTok because like every single time I save a video, it's like post to TikTok, but I don't have TikTok. But it's still really cool, and it's all free. Like all these like super cool glitchy effects and all these cool breaks and splits and all these other cool things. I'm like, wow, okay, I'll take that. So yeah, that's what I use at the moment.
At the last part of your latest edit, there's a picture of Street Rats PK, and like it's cut in half. So tell us a little bit about that and what your plans with it are.
So at the moment, basically, so it's Cortez and I, just us at the moment, and Elia and Henry are the cameramen. We call them the lab rats. So me and Cortez are street rats. They are lab rats, and like any fans are called the Rat Pack. So hopefully that'll like start getting somewhere eventually. I'm just waiting on Cortez, not like in a bad way or anything. He's just super busy with work and everything. So we're trying to figure out a schedule that we can hopefully get a weekly training, and then we can start racking up clips for YouTube. Basically, the Instagram for it, we aren't going to use that much except for like saying, here's like a snippet for the YouTube video that will be coming out this week or whatever. Like we aren't going to use it that much. We might use a story, but we're trying to get people to start watching YouTube videos now and putting in the culture and all that other stuff. Because even though you do see that on Instagram like super quick, we're hoping that like I kind of got this inspiration from SoFlo movement. Like they like will have the most banger edit possible, and then the next clip is them doing something so stupid, just like the dumbest thing that you could ever think of. Like is so dumb, but that's kind of what I want to do. I don't know what Cortez's ideas are, but that's what I'm thinking of in like currently. Who knows what it'll turn into, but maybe it'll turn into a huge group. Maybe it'll just be like, a small little project on the side. But either way, I'll be happy with it.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on to the competition aspects of you. And how many competitions have you competed for free running?
Wait 1 second. I think it's 5. Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Okay. What was the first one you competed at, and like tell us how it went, how you felt, because it's your first competition.
The first one was the 2018 Fight or Flight potluck competition, and I did not do good at that one, but I still had fun. So the way that one worked was a bracket system, and basically you face off one person, and then the judges pick who goes on to the next round. And I got out first round because I ended up like rolling after a skill or something, and it just my flow was not that good, honestly. But I still had fun either way. Cortez did very well. He got to like the third round or something like that. But yeah, I only did okay. Either way, still had fun, enjoyed it a lot. So, and yeah.
Was it just one line and just went through a bracket system, or was it like you
Yeah,
had to
one
do?
line each. Yeah, so each time you moved up, you would do a new line. So
Okay.
the kind of idea for that was have as many little connection, or I shouldn't say connections, like have little ideas at a time to like feed off of, because you're not going to do just like 5 lines, like have them memorized. Maybe you could, but that's kind of hard. So you would have to have like little sections of them in each spot, so you knew where to start and where to kind of go off of that. Otherwise, then you'd be very tired at once you started. So yeah, that would I can't imagine doing that though. Like I would have to. You basically do little sections each time, um, so then you don't tire yourself out. But I didn't have to worry about that because I didn't even make it through the first round.
So, how was the WFPF competition like, and how is it like to be like with very high level athletes? And do you talk to anyone or get close with anyone there?
It was very fun. Oh my gosh! So, I went there. The competition was on Saturday. I went on Friday morning and did a little training with my friends. I met up with Sam Garza. He lives in Illinois, and he went to the summer competition for Fight or Flight. Uh, when we met up, I already knew all the spots around Tampa because my mom actually lives very close to downtown Tampa. She's like in the downtown Tampa area, but probably 3-4 blocks away are the Tampa Strides and that cool spot over there. So I was kind of showing them around like all these other cool spots. And then so it was Sam and I at the Tampa Strides, and he hit up one of his friends, Reed. He's in Wisconsin, I want to say. I think he's in Wisconsin. And then we started doing a little bit of tricking and stuff like that. Then Reed's friends came. You think Cole and Jacob, both of them ended up showing up. They're both from Wisconsin as well. Oh no, Jacob's from Illinois, but Cole is from Wisconsin. And then from there we saw Michael and what's his name? I forgot the other guy's name, but there was Michael and some other guy were both training, and then they just happened to be at the same spot we were at. So then we all started training together, and that was the day before the competition. Later that night, we ended up going to like the setup and practicing and all that other stuff, just to see like what the surfaces would be like, how the bars were, to see if the metal fence would implode on us, which it did, because we had like a fence on there. It was, I don't know, it ended up breaking. But yeah, then the day of the competition, It started off with speed, and I ended up getting third place in speed. And then I competed in what's called Alive After 5. And it's basically 5 athletes are on the course at once, and you get 3 minutes to do like all your coolest stuff and whatever, and then that picks who goes to the freestyle competition. If you got first place in the freestyle competitions for the qualifiers, though, you wouldn't have to worry about that. But for the other people, you would have to do what is called a live after 5. And I found that really odd. It was still fun, but I felt that was odd to do because you usually don't see that to qualify into a freestyle competition. It was just, I don't know, it just felt really weird, and I don't think it was the best system. Either way, it was fun, but I don't think that was the best system that they could have used. So I ended up not getting into the freestyle competition, but I ended up watching a couple, and it was pretty cool. It was really cool. And let's see here. Also on that Saturday, there was something called Sickest Trick. And it's basically 5 stations, and you do the coolest trick at that station you can do. There were some insane ones. Like there was a guy that did a Rudy off his knees.
What?
Yes. I was like, what the heck? Sean Bautista was there. He ended up doing a dub flyway, but he like opens up in the middle and then tucks back in. I forget what that's called. Then Jacob Ranney, he did a 360 back handspring to Castaway off like a super high ledge.
Whoa, that's cool.
Some insane stuff went down. And then my friend Sam, he did a Sukahara on concrete for the first time.
Nice.
So, yeah, some insane stuff went down.
Did you do anything for the contest?
I did not do Sickest Trick. I wasn't sure exactly what it was, but now that I know what it is, I might do it. I don't know. I'd have to see. I definitely have to work on stuff on the concrete.
Yeah, it's tough doing tricks on concrete, especially like double flips.
What'd you say?
How do you get into the WFPF competition?
Oh, so I did a qualifier in Colorado. I think it was in November, and basically you do it for the speed and style competitions. There's not one for Sickest Trick. Sickest Trick you can just get into, but basically you have to get third or above to even qualify for to even get in. And if you get first, you get in for free. Second place, you get 50% off, and third place, you get 25% off your purchase when you have to enter the building. And I think I got second place in speed for that and third place in style. So I ended up trying to go for style, but didn't get in. But then I got in for speed, and that was a super fun experience. Super fun. Yeah.
Was it at Apex? In Colorado?
It was. You mean who held the competition?
Yeah.
Oh, for the Colorado one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Flow Vault. That's a gym in Henderson, Colorado. It's super close to Denver. But yeah, I guess they should have done Apex. I think that one would have been cooler. They had like a competition super close to that as well, but it was just like their own separate competition. But
okay.
I still thought it was a pretty cool gym. It's super small, but they have all this compact stuff, and like some of their boxes like get really close to the ceiling. Like if you stood on a box, like the ceiling would be like it's like don't hit the ceiling as you're jumping.
So let's talk about being a parkour coach at FOFA and how long you worked there for.
I started right after Gleason's closed, and that was in September. I want to say September 7th was the day that I got hired at Fight or Flight.
Okay.
7th. So,
actually, yeah, continue.
Yeah, so from there, they already knew me from the summer competition. I ended up winning both speed and style. So like when my application came in, they were like, it is you. So they started when they started interviewing me, they were like, so you worked at Gleason's before? And I was like, yeah, we're the gym's shutting down at the moment, and Cortez pointed me in this direction, and I've always kind of wanted to work here, see what it would be like. And they go, oh, it's pretty cool. You're hired. Like that was basically it. It was like 5 minutes. I'm like, cool. You ready to start? I was like, when do you want me to start? They were like, we have 2 classes today at 3 and 4:30 if you want to do them. And I was like, sure, I'll see what it's all about. And I shadowed in with Kim then, and yeah, from there it just went up. I ended up taking their qualification test, and ended up doing like their APK level 1, not level 2, level 1 test, and I didn't do very well on that one, but I passed their coaching test as well though. So ended up they said that the APK one wasn't like super important. That was more like anatomy and all this other stuff. It's still useful to know. As long as you know it, it's fine. I just won't make you take the test. So I think I passed that late November. Yeah, so from there I ended up teaching there full time because they just needed a coach that would be dedicated. So
Nice.
So yeah, there was me.
So how does it feel like to work at that facility? Because like right now it's in its infancy, like it's starting Project Parkour, the entire place is getting renovated, like there's new paint and stuff. Like how does it feel to like be part of the journey of Firefight right now?
It's pretty cool at the moment because yeah, as you said, like all this other like paint and renovation is going to be going on. I don't know when the gym's going to be like fully renovated because they haven't done that yet. They redid the lobby area and with paint, and they fixed up the office a little bit too, so it's less cluttered. It's super minimalistic. And they got monitors now and with all these other cool videos and all that stuff. But yeah, for Fight or Flight Academy Online, it's pretty crazy. They're gonna have so many videos. Like level 1 will probably be 200 videos, level 2 1,000, and it's just gonna go up from there. So basically, like for however many years until it's done, it will probably never be done. They're just gonna keep doing these videos, and it's just gonna be awesome. But yeah, for the video editing too, they hired a video editor, and they were telling us the process of it. Like there were only 2 people that passed the automated like system, and when they interviewed the first person, they were like, okay, you might as well just be hired. Like he can just do so many crazy videos like that. For the final video on Project Parkour, it was like kind of like the black and white. It was Christian versus Yasin. I don't know if you remember that one or not.
I'm sure. Is Christian the guy that did that worm cast?
Yeah, he did the cast gainer at the end, but he started off with the what did he start off? He started off with a 360 back handspring on the rail, and then did dub side over a rail.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, insane. And then Yasin was the one who started with a twist in, and then he was like on that playground area, and then he did like a 360 what did he do? 360 monkey down or something like that. I was like, what the heck? But yeah, it was between those 2, and Andrew, the one who edited those videos, he made a super cool video, and I don't know how much time he had, but it was very little time, and he made such a cool video, and it was like 3 minutes long for 2 people. I thought that was insane. So watching like these videos and like how they're progressing, I thought that was a super cool part to be a part of that journey as well, like seeing what Fight or Flight is being how it's being looked at as well. So yeah, and it's just skyrocketed. Like even on their Instagram, they've like probably 1,000, 2,000% plus followers. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like they were the first to do it. Like tricking has its own platform for like videos and stuff, but parkour needs one, and you guys are the ones that are gonna do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so.
Who do you train with on the regular now?
When I go into the gym, I train with Cortez and Holden a little bit, not like a lot, because then I have to coach, but just like bits and pieces. I train with my friend Elia. He's one of the lab rats that record stuff. I train with him on a regular because he's a boxer, and he just I started doing free running around that same time he started doing boxing, and we just started like going longboarding and biking out and just looking for places. And I thought, oh, that's a cool thing to do. And so I do something, and he's like, oh wow, I knew you did parkour, but I didn't know like we were gonna do parkour. So he started getting into it as well. Like whenever we say like, oh, do you want to go for a bike ride or do you want to go longboarding? It's always no. Do you want to go train? That's usually what that means. But he already knows that by now. Or it's like, do you want to go explore this place? He's like, oh yeah, for sure. And then we end up just flipping off stuff.
What's your favorite just trick to do? Just pull up, do a trick, a flip.
Pull up and do a trick. I'd say front handspring. Front handsprings I just like to just pull out of nowhere, and they're just kind of fun to do. Or scoot D leg full. I like D leg fulls and like that pike position.
Yeah,
Super nice. Love them.
really sick. So we're gonna backtrack a little bit. And have you had any major injuries along the years?
Not any major ones that have like taken me out for like a week or longer. I did have like some sort of stomach flu thing for a week or almost 2 weeks, and I ended up like losing 20 pounds. And they still didn't know what it was, because I went to the hospital and everything, because I just couldn't hold any water, couldn't hold any food or anything like that. And for some reason, once I got water back in my system through an IV, I was fine. But that helped me out for about a week or two. But stuff like parkour injuries, I haven't had any super major ones. I did fall on my head on concrete in May.
Oh yeah.
But
Man.
I guess that helped me out for a week. But it wasn't like super like major or anything. I just had like a little cut right here on my head. That was split open pretty deep. So once that healed up, I was fine. Then so going back to that back circle hecht, where you start on the bar and you go whoop and then land back on your feet. I scorpioned on that a couple weeks ago, like full on scorpion, like face. I curved over like this. I landed like this. Felt the crunch in my back. Felt the crunch in my neck. And that hurt. I was not doing anything for probably 4 days. My neck is feeling a lot better now. It was pretty stiff the first, I'd say, 3 days. But after that, I was like, okay, I can move it just a little bit. And then after a week, I was able to move it almost fully. And now it's at like the 99% mark. I can get to about here, but then I start to feel like just a little bit of tension, but it's really not that bad at all. But those are the only ones that I can think of at the moment that have really set me back a little bit.
Okay. It sucks because every single year I tell myself, don't get injured. You're not going to get injured this year. And every single year I get sent back like a good 2 to 3 months, and it sucks.
Yeah, isn't like around now like the time you usually get injured? Because I remember you posted something on your story about that.
Yes. So between the late summers of late July to September, I always tweak something, and then I'm out for 2 months, and then I come back in the fall where it gets really cold, and I just get bummed out.
Yeah. That's not fun. Got to deal with like a tweaked ankle or something like the last of summer. Oh, that would suck. I'm sorry that you got to deal with that every single year too. Oh my gosh, that sucks. That happens with me in May. Like I feel like May is like the bad month for me. Like I fell on my head the year before that stomach flu thing, and I feel like just from there it's just gonna keep being May. That's my bad month.
So there's this concept. We're gonna change topics here.
Okay.
So this concept of specialization and not being a jack of all trades and things, whatever you really enjoy doing. And to give an example, like, what do you want to be known as in the sport of freerunning and parkour? And like something that shows that's distinctly you, like your asterisk, like what's your personality towards your lines? Like, for example, Alfred Scott, he's very difficult tricks in his lines, and or Archie, he does freerunning and tricking for flow. Or if you're Toby Cigar, you're just pure parkour, like mad athleticism. So, what do you want to be known as, essentially?
I kind of want to be known as the person that just doesn't do necessarily hard moves, but stuff that people don't think of very often. Like it could be something super simple, like I did a forward hip circle, but then you just let go and you cast and do a brainy off the bar. I don't see people do that very often, but
Dude,
it's just
I saw that. That was so
yeah,
cool.
in the Tempest line. Yeah, but stuff like that. It's like I just want people to look at me and go, "What the heck? What was that?" Like nothing hard, just like, "What did he just do?" But it's kind of really all I can think of, or people thinking, "Oh, what's he gonna do next? What's the next move that doesn't have a name that he's gonna do?" Like something like that.
You gotta make a trick and call it the eagle or something.
Oh, the eagle.
It's
All right.
distinctly.
People have told me that before, so now I really gotta like think about that. I'm gonna think about that and then see if I can call. Yeah, I'm gonna figure that out.
Make sure it involves your arms going like this.
Yes, for sure. I will definitely do that. Big wingspan boy.
So we're about to hit the concluding questions of the podcast. And it's a tradition in this podcast that I ask you the scenario. It's a really dumb scenario, but it's going to see your perspective on it.
Okay.
So let's say you're walking down your street and you go to your local Walmart and you happen to be the very first person there. However, there's a zombie apocalypse just about to happen and everybody's is about to come into the store and steal everything. So what are the first 5 things you're going to grab? Because you get first dibs on everything because you're the first person there.
Oh,
and
okay.
Everything's free. And so you got to grab what you want before everybody steals everything. Also, like, everything's not going to disappear right away. You still have a chance to grab something out of the 5 things you want to grab. So what are the 5 things you're going to grab from Walmart?
Let's see here. Can I add stuff to something and call it one thing, or no?
Give me an example.
Okay, so like, if I needed to make a first aid kit, can I grab like Band-Aids and gauze and scissors and stuff like that and put it in a first aid kit and then say it's one thing?
Yeah, or just say like first aid kit.
Okay, first aid kit then. That'll be my. Let's see here. I would also. I wonder if they have tasers there. I'd grab a taser if that's at Walmart. I have to grab a bunch of canned food. Like soups and that's all I can think of. Okay, like canned dog food. Because that'll last. If I need to eat dog food, I will. Peanut butter. Yes, it needs some peanut butter. That lasts forever. And that's good. Is that 3 or 4? That's 4. And then I also grab some sort of shelter, like a tent, or if I can literally just like take a forklift and then raise up a shed, I will take a shed with me. You know what? No, scratch that. Screw the peanut butter. I'll take the forklift with me, and then I'll also take the shed with it, so I can just.
Bet you have a entire forklift and a tent.
I can live up elevated as well on the forklift. There we go. I'm safe.
All right. So a few more questions here. How important is freerunning in your life, and what lessons has it taught you?
Freerunning is definitely very important in life for me because when I decided to quit gymnastics, everyone was kind of concerned, like, oh, he's just gonna be bored all his life, or not all his life, but for a while, because you won't have anything to do. And I felt like if I didn't get into free running, or if Cortez didn't get me into free running and training with me, I feel like I would just be very bored, and I would have got in with the wrong friends and all that stuff. I got into more trouble. So I'm very thankful that I was able to pick the right friends, and free running has led me definitely to those friends, and I've enjoyed it ever since I've done it. Which was, it felt kind of weird too, because I thought I was going to quit gymnastics because I didn't want to flip anymore. But then I thought, wait, no, I still kind of do want to flip and have my own kind of sort of movement and stuff like that. So when Cortez was there just training me in, I thought, okay, this is fun. I'll stick with this for a while, and I'm still here.
Go a little more into how you met Cortez.
So literally probably almost right as I was going to quit gymnastics, or like that season before, he ended up being the parkour coach at Gleason's. So when I already had like that plan out, like, oh, I'll just quit gymnastics on this day, do this last meet, and then I'll go do parkour with Cortez, and he'll train me in, and then who knows from there. So once he did, he thought, or my old coach David said, do you want to end up being a coach? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't really want to coach trampoline and tumbling, which is the kind of gymnastics I did. And he pointed to Cortez because we were in the office. He's like, yeah, why don't you just go get coached in by him and do some parkour? And Cortez looks up. He's like, yeah, I'll be fine with that. So yeah, from there, that's kind of how I met him and got to know him better, just by shadowing with him and him teaching me in on how to do all the skills and coach all the skills and all that stuff. So that's how I met him. And then eventually, when the gym shut down, I went to Fireflight, as we talked about, and then Cortez went to Twin City Twisters, and he didn't like that, so he ended up quitting that job and worked for Cintas, which is like a uniform company. And then recently, probably within the last month, I want to say that within the last month, he quit that job to work at Fight or Flight as a salesman. So now we work together again, and now we can train even more.
Funny story. So I got a weird text from somebody, and it's from Fofa actually. It's like, call this number for like some kind of 10-day free pass.
10-day free pass, yes.
I called the number, and Cortez is on the other line. He's like, what's up, homie? I was like, is it Rodney? I was like, oh, yo, it's Cortez.
Yeah, he works there now.
Dope. To backtrack a little bit about tumbling and just sports in general, like, the really nice thing about freerunning is that you can continue it like after high school. Like,
yeah.
Unless you're really good at gymnastics, whatever sport you're doing, if you're not like elite, you can't continue afterwards, you know what I mean? But with parkour and freerunning, you can just keep training at the same level and continuing like throughout your late 20s and stuff. So that's a nice thing.
I've even a couple of my students, there was one that came in and he was 65 years old and he was still doing stuff. Like, he was good. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I can do it however long I feel like doing it until I realize I'm breaking myself too much.
So where do you want to go with freerunning in an ideal world? Like, where do you see yourself with all this hard work you put in?
I don't expect myself to become a professional athlete. I don't care if I do or don't become one, but I do want to keep training it in some way possible. And I think that I see myself in the future as traveling to as many competitions as I can, just to get to know people and to do the competitions and have fun and all that stuff. But I'm not there as like a job. I'm just there to meet new people, have fun, do the competitions. So
yeah,
that's kind of where I stand at the moment. I don't know if that'll change, but I don't want to think of it as a job too much right now, because I want it to be fun. I don't want to go there like to a competition or to a jam like, oh, I need this amount of content or whatever like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, if I don't do this con gainer, I'm not going to get paid $50.
Okay, wait. I'll do a con gainer for $50, but
uh, okay. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 or 10 years? Just not free running related, but just where you envision yourself with where you want to be.
so I picture myself uh, being a sports massage therapist, and I've told Chad, the owner of Fight or Flight, about this, and I had this idea of basically once I get certified and all that other stuff that comes with being a sports massage therapist, um, basically I could send appointments at the gym now, and then maybe if the students want, they can buy a better membership that will allow them to see the sports massage therapist for free or something like that. So then it'll bring in more customers that don't even want to do parkour necessarily. They just want to feel better. They just want to make sure they get better and they aren't so stiff or they aren't broken or any of this other stuff. So that's my goal, at least within 5 years. Within 10 years, I have no idea. Probably still be doing the same thing, but just trying to market it better. See if I can bring even more people in for the gym.
Here's one thing with being a massage therapist, or just yeah. So there's trickers who are massage therapists, and they advertise themselves to like gatherings all over the world for tricking gatherings, and like they tell the owners of the gatherings like, yo, I'm a massage therapist. I can massage the athletes, but in return, you pay for my ticket and pay for my lodging, and I'll be there to help provide service for the gathering. So you could possibly use that as an opportunity to possibly go to like parkour for any events, advertise yourself, be like, I'm a massage therapist, and if you pay me and pay for my plane ticket, then I can provide that service. It makes it even cooler, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was kind of getting on that idea as well, except for like I might still be on the fight or flight team, competition team, so I wouldn't have to worry about paying for tickets as much. But then I was also thinking if we do like expand and franchise Fight or Flight Academy to different states, I could maybe go to each one of those gyms every so often and help people over there versus just at the Edina location. So who knows? Who knows? Maybe that's maybe that's a 10-year mark. I'll just be traveling between states all the time. I don't know.
All right, so that's pretty much all the questions I have for you. And
I have a question for you though.
Oh, okay.
How did you get into tricking and free running? Because I don't know if I like actually heard like this full story.
Oh, okay. It's there's a lot to it, but basically, you know who Paul Wycon is?
I felt like I've heard of him. I don't know if I do know him though.
They made a parkour documentary, and it was like in 2013, 14, and I watched it, and I'm a link it to you sometime. I think you've seen it before.
What's it called?
But I forgot what it was called.
Is it People in Motion?
Yeah, People in Motion. Yeah.
I like that one. I like that one.
Yeah, that's the one that got me into it. But before that, I play a lot of Minecraft. And
Okay.
and there's this thing called Minecraft parkour where these floating blocks just jump to the next one.
Yeah.
Like, that's so cool. And I thought parkour is exclusively to Minecraft. But I forgot to put Minecraft right next to parkour, and I just searched up parkour, and there's people actually doing this in like urban areas. I was like, that's so sick. So I gotta try this myself. And
nice.
that's basically the story.
Nice.
For tricking, I watched a lot of Plan Zero, so he inspired me a lot.
Nice. Yeah. I knew you did watch a lot of Plan Zero, and I know that you like have all their like a bunch of their merch and stuff like that. So I had a feeling that had something to do with it.
Yeah, I love that dude. I actually met him too.
Yeah, at the that Denver Jam, right? At Apex, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. What's he like?
He's super chill. It's so weird. He was like sleeping at the gathering a little bit.
Nice. I bet like what was that one of those jams like everyone just camps out in the gym?
No, everybody went to their own hotels and stuff.
Oh, lame. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, just kidding.
There are some like that, like Hooked Gathering and Neo Gathering in Ohio for tricking. They have like they sleep in the gym, which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's basically
awesome.
my story.
That's awesome.
All right, so I'm gonna end the podcast, and thanks for watching, guys. We had Riley the Eagle today.
Thanks for having me, Ronnie.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for taking your time to be part of the show, and keep training, dude. I can't wait to see like how far you progress and like where you're gonna take this sport.
Oh yes, I'm working on a pretty hard line at the moment for a Tempest competition. I don't know when it'll come out, but it's gonna be pretty intense. So watch out for that.
All right, I make sure I'm gonna stay tuned.
All right, bet.
And yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. Have a nice day. Good luck to your future endeavors, Riley, and
bye, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rodney. I'll see you later.
Yeah.